Almost once a month on the peninsula, a driver on Interstate 280 collides with a deer. The accidents are deadly for the animals and are costly and dangerous for the drivers. Now the state is doing something about the problem, all thanks to one woman's phone call. Here again is Jonathan Bloom with tonight's Assignment 7 report.
If you're a wild animal, this quiet meadow is as close as you'll get to paradise. The only problem is the neighbors. Giant metal boxes flying across a slab of concrete. To you and me, it's transportation. To a deer, it's a death trap. On this 20-mile stretch of Highway 280 between San Bruno and Redwood City, some 50 deer have been hit by cars over the course of 4 years. Most of the deer did not survive.
It's not a very graceful way to die, to end your life.
Kathryn, a self-proclaimed animal lover, saw some of the roadside carnage and decided something had to be done.
I felt like I really needed to be a voice, actually, for these animals. Since they can't vote, or speak English or Spanish, I thought I'd help them out.
So Kathryn did what she said she thought any good citizen would do. She picked up the phone and called Caltrans. What she got was far more than she ever expected.
I heard that they've never seen anything move through the state this quickly.
A few phone calls later, Kathryn was introduced to this man, Professor Fraser Shilling at UC Davis. He runs the California Roadkill Observation System. There are people who study roadkill?
Well, there are people who study roadkill as part of understanding wildlife and how wildlife move in relation to roads.
And because of Kathryn's phone call, Caltrans offered Shilling a $381,000 grant to do a study that starts with a big, scary gun.
It does look incredibly like, a hunting rifle, but it is a tranquilizer dart gun.
Shooting a flying syringe, Fish and Game workers catch deer one at a time and attach high-tech GPS tracking collars. Now Shilling can watch their every move in real time.
The deer that we put the collar on, we put them on intentionally because they're right next to the freeway.
Because those are likely candidates to try to cross.
Exactly.
These squiggly lines are digital hoof prints leading researchers toward an answer.
This animal, this yellow, has been walking along the edge of the freeway.
What Shilling's discovered is that each deer lives in a relatively small area he calls a home range of about a quarter square mile. In it, the deer needs a place to sleep, a place to eat, and a good supply of clean water. It's kind of like your house, if your house had a freeway running through it.
And they've got their bedroom on one side and, the dining room on the other, so they're crossing back and forth.
But Shilling has learned that some deer are crossing the right way.
There's a deer right here that has safely gone back and forth across 280 using the underpass near Crystal Springs Road. So it's safely moving across, it's not endangering drivers, and we wouldn't have known about that without that collar on the animal.
Now, the million-dollar question, how do you get all the deer to do that?
We have to give them pathways. A deer up here at the north end of the reservoir doesn't know to walk down to this nice underpass.
By watching the deer move around on his computer screen, Shilling has figured out they'll travel up to a mile outside their home range to find a safe way across. If they don't, they'll make a run for it. A possible solution? Build fences along the roadside 8 feet tall, then dig culverts under the road about once every mile. It's a million-dollar answer that Caltrans says it's willing to consider.
If we can do something that will cut down on the amount of wildlife being killed by vehicular activity, we're happy to help that.
As for Kathryn, well, UC Davis liked her enthusiasm so much, they made her the project coordinator. What do your friends say? Have you become the deer lady?
Maybe they say it behind my back, I don't know.
In San Mateo County, Jonathan Bloom, ABC 7 News.
Nice to have a change made there. It is so dangerous.
Absolutely, and they're everywhere these days.